Hey guys, Jason Followell. First of all, it's great to see all new faces around the whole board. That's awesome. Nobody up there taking envelopes, which is great. Nobody I didn't get to make fun of him, but Joe was here. Nobody up here squelching people's voices, which is great. It's good to see. I do need some help though. So I know we talk off and on for the last couple of years about the Fuentes' property. I do agree with you that it is a civil matter, but there's also criminal matter. So Officer Luker, Crooker, Liar, I always get their names confused, people that lie, Luker. Officer Luker investigated that and then found that there was no issues, and then later told Dolores' family that if they came on their own property, they'd be criminally trespassed. I don't know how that works since they own the deed to that property. I don't know if you're aware of that, but that happened. And I'd like to meet you sometime this week if you don't mind.
Yes, sir.
Good deal. Okay, so with that said, there's audio recording of the criminal that owns the house saying that he paid off Gary Edwards who used to sit there. There's an audio recording of that, so I don't know how Officer Luker overlooked that, but that's on there. There's also a big quandary. So I know the officer to my left, who was awesome back here in the corner. She was great. I was very impressed with her. She came out there to do criminal trespass, but he wasn't there. Later on, Officer Luker told the Fuentes that that wasn't going to happen, and if they came on their own property, they'd be criminally trespassed. Here's my issue. They have the deed to the property. That property belongs to them. They can criminally trespass anybody they want to according to law. It is not the department's job to tell them what the law says or states. It's their job to enforce the law. Therefore, if they have a deed to the property, it's their property. If you also skip Officer Luker and investigate it with somebody else, you'll note that the deed to that guy's property who built the house is the adjacent property. His house is also loaned to the adjacent property, so the mortgage is on the other property. That guy has no deed. He has no deed for that property the Fuentes is on, which means that the Fuentes at any time can go and criminally trespass wherever they want. If they wanted to, and I'm willing to help them if they're listening, we'll throw a party there every single night for the rest of the year to get that guy off, and there's nothing the guy can do about it because it's not his property. So there is a criminal and there is a civil. So I would like the APD's help, and I'm glad you're new, so maybe you'll look at it to investigate it and actually do something about it. They have the deed. If I have the deed to my property, I can criminally trespass whoever I want. Right? Everybody agree with that? It's your property. You can criminally trespass whoever you want. A person that doesn't have the right to be on your property cannot tell you to get off of your property. That part is criminal. They also move the stakes on that too, which is a criminal charge too. But if you take a look at that, and I can help you with the data, I'm sure the Fuentes will come over here and talk to you. But from my understanding through them is Officer Luker shutting them down and telling them if they go onto their own property, they'll be criminally trespassed, which is complete BS if you ask me. So I'd like to talk to you sometime this week. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Jason.
Thank you.